Hi guys, and welcome to my first review video. I've recently purchased a 3D printer on AliExpress and thought I would do a review on it. The printer I bought is made by GEEETECH. It is their A30 model. They do similar models of different sizes, the A10, A20, as well as mixed color versions. I chose this printer because at the time it was the largest 3D printer I could get for that price range. At the time it was £220, but it's now gone up £10 to $230 or the equivalent $270. After doing some research, I found out it was similar to the Creality CR10 and other models. It had some good reviews as well as a warehouse in the UK for quick delivery. It arrived basically the next day. If you're watching this video and are thinking about picking up 3D printing as a hobby, the main thing you need to be ready for is that, to start with, some of your prints will fail. It will take some time to figure out how your 3D printer works properly and what settings you need to alter to get each print to go perfectly. The plastic can jam in the end of the nozzle, causing the print to stop, or the print might not properly attach to the build plate and will leave you with a ball of used plastic which you can't really do anything about afterwards. So there can end up being quite a few failed attempts, failed prints, but you just have to not let it get you down. After each failed print, you'll learn what caused that failed print and you'll be able to fix it for the next time. And after a few weeks of trying, you'll be able to print consistently. But there may still be failures, because if there's anything wrong with the plastics you're using, it could just get jammed anyway. At the moment, I'm just using the cheapest plastic I can find, and there has been a few more jams than I think most people would have, but at the moment it's worth it for the amount of money I'm saving on the plastics. If I can find a better plastic for a similar price, I'll switch to that. The GEEETECH A30 comes with a 1GB micro SD card to put your prints on, or you can use their cable they supply to attach it directly to the computer. It also comes with a spare filament tube which the plastic filament feeds through into the nozzle in case it's damaged or if anything gets stuck in there. The A30 comes half assembled. You just need to screw the top frame to the bottom half and then connect all the cables into the right slots. You put the roll of filament onto the holder and then feed it through the sensor and down the tube to the hot end with the nozzle. The printer has language settings for Chinese and English. You'll also have to turn on the sensor in the settings menu. There is also an about button that gives you details about the printer, including that the build plate size is 320mm by 320mm by 420mm high, which is really big for a printer of this price. In the description of this printer it says it's Wi-Fi enabled, but you will have to purchase the Wi-Fi module. It doesn't come as standard. In the menu you can heat up the nozzle to test that the filament is running through the nozzle. From here you'll also level the build plate. On the screen there are 5 points. Pressing one of the 5 points will move the nozzle to that position on the build plate and lower it close to the bed. For each of the corners there is a hand screw underneath the build plate, which you will use to raise or lower the plate depending on how far away it is from the nozzle. You will want to use a piece of paper between the nozzle and build plate. You will need to adjust it just enough so that for every point on the screen you can just about move the piece of paper freely with a slight bit of resistance. If it's too close to the build plate, the nozzle will scratch against the surface, leaving marks on your build plate, and if it's too far away, the plastic will not attach to the build plate, causing a print to fail. On the main screen, if you press the top section, it gives you access to heat up the nozzle, warm up the build plate, change the move speed and the cooling fans. This is useful to heat up the build plate before you start on your print while you're doing your leveling, because it does take a few minutes to warm up and you will need to check your leveling before every print. After that you just need to press the printing icon, choose which file you would like to print off, and then it will begin to heat up. After a few minutes it will begin printing. have had a few failed prints, but I now know how to deal with those issues. My first print is a standard test print most people use. It's a benchy boat. It's meant to stress test your printer, see how well it does overhangs and other little bits like that. It came out quite well detailed, but if I reprinted it now it would look a lot better. I also used it to test some paints on it. My second print was an Eevee. It came out so well that I ended up printing a few of these. My next print took a while to finish. It's a wearable helmet based on the Halo ODST from the Halo games. It came out really well, but like with most prints of this size, it did need a lot of sanding and painting to get it to looking as good as it does now. After sorting out my settings to get a better quality print, I tried printing out a small Warhammer size model and it came out really well. The painting isn't great on it because it's my painting, but the model itself looks really good. I have printed off some other small models, but they're not finished yet, which can happen a lot with 3D printing, because you find a file you like, print it out and mean to paint it, but then you find another model you like, start printing that, and it keeps continuing. Overall, I am really amazed with this 3D printer. For the price, I thought I'd be getting lower quality than the rest, but from what I've seen from other 3D printers on Reddit and YouTube, it seems to be very similar in quality. To start with, it can be annoying dealing with failed prints, but I think that's more to do with 3D printing in general, not just this printer. It's a great price, works really well, and their customer service is really good. One of the small parts got damaged and I messaged them on AliExpress, and later that night they responded and said they would send out a part as soon as possible, but it will be coming from China, so it will take a bit longer to get here because they don't keep that part stocked in the UK warehouse. So if you want to get into 3D printing, this is definitely a good way to start. The A10 is a smaller version if you don't want them this big. I needed one this big because I wanted to make parts for cosplay. The A10 is smaller but also quite a bit cheaper. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about this 3D printer or 3D printing in general, leave a comment down below and I'll see if I can help. Bye guys.